Hey everybody, welcome to the All Chat Gaming Podcast, episode 9, I believe.
Yep.
Today is going to be very different because, as you know, as of right now, E3 2018 is happening.
Yep.
Exciting stuff.
And it's also different because Ryan is not here with us. Kicked him out.
Yeah, he was just
not cutting
just
it.
not cut out for this podcast.
Or it's because he's in Mexico. We're not really sure.
Yeah.
It could be one of those
It's
two.
one of those two.
We haven't decided which it is. But unfortunately, Ryan will not be here this week. But we're all still here, so we're going to talk video games and all that fun stuff. So this episode, we're just basically going to be talking about E3 because it's so big that we could literally talk about it for hours, but we don't have that time. So we're just going to do a normal podcast just talking about E3. I'm just going to kind of start off talking about, I guess, my history with watching E3. I never really did. As a kid, I didn't watch E3. In high school, I didn't watch E3. I didn't really care about E3 until last year when I started to get more into gaming news and started to get more into content creation and stuff. And I mostly only watched the Nintendo conference because that was the year the Nintendo Switch launched, and so I wanted to watch the Switch news. But I watched the other conferences too, and they're pretty interesting, but overall, I'm going to be following it more closely now that we talk about it here on podcasts and now that we do more gaming news and such. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's my history with E3. I would just cherry pick things that I was interested in and just watch the trailers after it happened. But this year I plan on watching some of it live. I'm going to actually try to take Tuesday off of work just so I can watch the Nintendo stream.
Nerd.
Yeah.
I'll just watch it at work.
Hopefully my boss doesn't watch this podcast.
Yeah, sure he doesn't.
Yeah,
He's our number one fan.
yeah, that would be an interesting insight. But what about you guys? You guys didn't really watch E3 when you were younger? Or...
So not to continue to hit at our credibility here, but I never really watched E3 either. I was only concerned with, the games that I was enjoying. For example, I was always watching E3 to see what they would have to say about Kingdom Hearts, and if Kingdom Hearts 3 would ever get new information. It was 5 years ago that they announced Kingdom Hearts 3 at E3 saying...
5 years ago?
It was 5 years ago. We always knew it would happen. So, that kind of happened. But they announced, hey, it is now in development. And they're taking forever to do it. And there's been plenty of, gameplay that we've been able to see, certain scenes. So they've been teasing us, throughout these years. And I would always go to E3 to see, are they finally going to announce something? And they never did, but it seems like this year they are actually going to. No, they will.
I think I actually did see something Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts related recently, and I don't really follow it at all. I think actually I've probably watched more E3 than any of you guys have. I've never sat there and watched every press conference because I have things to do in life.
Yeah.
Sadly, my job is not doing that yet, so basically I've watched specific things. Mostly I'll watch a lot of gameplay reveals, so I'll go back and watch things afterwards. Sometimes I'll watch the Microsoft conference just because I want to see what's actually going to happen for the console that I own. As well, they do PC stuff, which is the other console I own essentially, until now that I have a Switch, but before that I didn't have that, so it was really just the two things that I had. And I would watch gameplay reveals. It got me excited for a few games that I'm still excited for and I'll talk about later, just because I see them and I'm like, what? Like Metro Light or whatever it is. I don't actually remember what the new one's going to be called, but it looks so awesome. I saw that last year.
Yeah,
that's where I saw Sea of Thieves stuff. I've seen a lot of different things at E3, so I think I do have a little bit more experience with it, but I was also never such an avid follower that I knew every single thing that was happening in every different press conference. So I think this year, who knows how much we'll actually be into it, considering I'm going on vacation next week.
Yeah. Bad timing.
So yeah, we'll see. I'll probably watch stuff afterwards anyways, just because I am interested and I do want to see what I have to look forward to in 5 years. So
5 years.
Are you going to be able to follow any E3 while you're gone?
Definitely not.
Just no.
I just won't care. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
Will not be my
Hey, if you're on
focus.
vacation, I mean...
Yeah, my focus is not going to be on the inside world. It'll be in New York, so it'll be on the city. So yeah, I think.
They broadcast E3 from Times Square. No, I'm just kidding.
Shut up.
You just watch it right there.
I actually believed you. I was like, really?
I think it's in California usually.
It's always in. Yeah, well.
Well, I mean, they get broadcasted on the screens
I think it
there.
was in Chicago one year.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure E3's in California though.
Always?
No, I think it is this year.
The main thing.
Yeah.
Regardless, this year I'll probably actually follow it less than normal, but I'll definitely try to see what's happening later. So it's not going to be something I just disregard completely, but it is something that I'm going to grab specific snippets from, mostly gameplay, and hopes for the future.
Cool. Well, let's talk about some rumors for E3. I've gathered quite a few rumors, mostly about Nintendo, but I've heard of a couple other things from other companies. Some stuff has already been confirmed, actually, because E3 or EA's conference has already happened. I didn't know this. I didn't think this was in the original announcement, but I guess Battlefield 5 will have the Battle Royale mode. Was that in the original announcement?
Yeah, I mean, I've known about it for a little while at this point, so
I thought it was just a rumor that it would, because they confirmed that Black Ops 4 would, but I didn't think that Battlefield 5 was going to get one. So there you go.
I think at this point, I've just assumed every game is going to have
a Battle Royale.
Yeah.
Literally every game. That'd be awful.
It's the new big thing. It's kind of like when MOBAs started to become like a bigger thing when League of Legends hit it like really big, and then all of a sudden there's a million MOBAs.
Then there's
like
Heroes. There's Smite,
Heroes, and a bunch of different ones that I'm sure exist. So I think people grab the thing that's doing well, because that's like kind of like what happened with FNAF and all those. You grab what does well and you beat it to death.
The same thing happened with StarCraft and Warcraft type games and Age of Empires, where then you'd get it from like every other thing, like Star Wars
Nations
and Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds. So it's like, let's build civilization games and everyone will play it because that's what everyone's doing.
And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't hear that and I just assumed.
I didn't hear anything
It's very
about
possible that I was just assuming that because I heard Black Ops, and then I just assumed, obviously, why wouldn't Battlefield?
It's not a bad assumption.
Here's the other problem, though, that I have with that isn't Battlefield kind of already a battle royale? Like, it has huge maps with tons of people. The only difference is it doesn't shrink the map.
Well, Battle Royale, it entails that there's like a last man standing kind of thing. Like, if you die, you're dead. And then you don't get to play anymore.
It just seems like that's something that they already kind of had, and they just have to tweak a couple things. So it makes me even less surprised.
Yeah. Just
because it was already the bare bones, or the big part of it was already there. They just have to tweak a couple things, make it Was it Battlefield or is it Call of Duty that's gonna have not perks? What's the class loadouts in their battle royale? I think it might be Call of Duty.
I'm pretty sure
they're actually going to include their different classes that you can be, so you actually can start with different things, which will add a little bit of something new, I guess.
Cool, actually. We'll see if that does sound good.
We'll see if PUBG sues them.
Who will PUBG sue next? Tune in next week on the All Chat Gaming Podcast. No, but that's one rumor, I guess, that was confirmed. But maybe we could break this down by each company. I know you guys probably don't know a lot about PlayStation or Microsoft or Nintendo rumors, but you might know a lot about Microsoft rumors.
I try to pay attention to them all anyways.
Well, I have the biggest PlayStation rumor to talk about.
That's true, you do.
Yep.
But I guess we'll start with Microsoft. The rumor is that they're going to announce a new Forza, new Gears, and a new Halo, which is pretty
par for the course.
Par for the course for them. But Halo 6, I actually really am interested in Halo 6 because it's probably
good.
Because it's probably going to come to PC. So I'm actually kind of excited to play it on PC. Hopefully the campaign's good and hopefully there's good multiplayer. Because I love my Overwatch. But I'm looking for more multiplayer shooters.
Halo 6 will be like Destiny too much.
Well, I mean, it's different studios though.
I know, but I still, it's like Galactic Marines with fighting aliens. Like it's very.
But they already have so much of a lore to pull from. I don't think they're.
Halo's been around.
They're not going to go They're not going to stray too far from what made Halo good in the first place.
Yeah, but
especially when they saw what Halo 5 did.
What I'm saying is that I don't want to play Halo 6 and feel like I would be getting the same type of gameplay out of Destiny.
I don't think it'll be like an MMO though, which is kind of what Destiny.
Oh, I wouldn't play Halo with that. Halo is a with a single player campaign and the multiplayer, Master Chief's story.
Yeah.
That's Halo.
And they already have co-op, so
yeah, and there you go.
Yeah,
It's made them successful, but are they going to be innovating? As we talked about.
Ooh, Halo 6 Battle Royale.
They tried to innovate with Halo 5, and it just didn't do all that great. So, that's fair. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it's good. Halo 5 was the first Halo game I didn't ever buy.
That's the first Halo game I'd never played. So
to be fair, I do have it because of Game Pass right now, and I do like parts of it. Like, parts of it are really fun. It's just, it bugged me that there was no local multiplayer, even though I don't really have that many people to play locally anyways, but whatever.
But so you can't play with us, you know?
Yeah, like it does have split screen, but not campaign.
And I love that as campaign.
I'm pretty sure it has split screen.
I love co-op
check
campaign
that now. But it has some really cool stuff. Like, you can clamber up stuff, and it has different modes that you can do. Like, it has a kind of MOBA-esque mode, which is like a huge battlefield, but it also has enemy AI in there. And the idea is to get points. So once you get points, you can spend those points to upgrade like new weapons, new vehicles, new things like that. And some things are like bosses and they're worth more. And then you also want to be killing the opposite team at the same time. So it's actually like a pretty involved mode, like lots going on, and it's cool, but I think they're missing a few key parts that would make it great.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully Halo 6 takes all that stuff, and they learn that they need local multiplayer in. I'm pretty sure that was the big thing that they learned with Halo 5, and I'm pretty sure they've already said they're going to put it in Halo 6. So there's my rumor for Halo 6 is there should be local multiplayer, specifically split-screen campaign again, hopefully.
Would you be mad if they put a Battle Royale mode in it?
As long as the rest of the stuff's good, as long as it's not, that's the focus. If that's like a huge focus and it takes away from other parts, yeah. If it's just an extra mode that gives me more stuff I can do, I have no reason to be mad. And I think Halo already has like really awesome gunplay mechanics and everything.
Yeah.
So that's actually another reason why I think Call of Duty is kind of cool it's doing it, because PUBG and Fortnite don't exactly have the best shooting mechanics. And they're not super polished. Fortnite's way more polished than PUBG, to be fair, but even then, like, they're not polished like a AAA studio is going to be able to do. So in that way, that could be cool. But if it's too much of a focus and it really draws away from the important parts of the game, then yeah, I'll be a little upset, probably.
I mean, this game's probably been in development for so long that the Battle Royale thing probably hadn't even taken off when they were developing this game.
But hopefully. They can add it in. I mean, it's like, you're saying, but they probably already developed the important parts first.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not like they're going to shoehorn it and be like, oh, by the way, this is one of the main modes. But this is slightly off topic, but, we say how, like, Battle Royale is the current trend, right? So every game is doing it, and how MOBAs were the trend and everyone was doing it. When it comes to these genres that become popular, only one or two games tend to capture my attention. And then if any other game does it, I just get pissed. Because I'm like, okay, I got League of Legends and Heroes. I don't need Smite. I don't need Dota.
But didn't Smite exist before?
I don't know. I don't know if it did. But my point is that I can only play one or two games of that genre. Because then if every other game does it, it's like, okay, now no one's being original anymore. Like the announcement that Call of Duty went Battle Royale, like, not that I've cared about Call of Duty in recent years, but I'm like, really? Battle Royale and Call of Duty? I mean, I know it fits because it's a gun game, but, like, I played Call of Duty for, like, the campaigns and the multiplayer, and I know Battle Royale is multiplayer, but, like, I don't want to play another Battle Royale
Smite
game.
did come out first.
Oh, okay.
Before HOTS?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the point is that, all these companies try to do it, and I'm like, no, stick with what's good. Stick with what you've been doing.
Well, it's like that. Have you seen that? I don't know if you've seen the ad on Facebook for, like, the mobile MOBA game that looks almost exactly like League of Legends.
Is it Arena of
similar
Valor?
Characters, and I'm just like, what the freak is this?
Is it Arena of Valor?
I haven't really looked into it.
Because actually Riot, I think, had a hand in developing that, and Tencent owns it.
Instead of Garen, they have Jaren. Instead of Graves, they have Draves.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly
Instead of Jarvan, they have Garvin.
That game is actually coming to the Nintendo Switch, Arena of Valor, that League knockoff. So
yeah, but yeah, that's just like kind of like you're saying, like some of those will come out and they're not even on my radar. Like they're so I just don't care anymore. It's too saturated that it's just literally I don't even think
it just gets oversaturated. Like when Overwatch started and becoming like there was Team Fortress 2, yeah, but then Paladins, the other high-res game came out, and they started taking things from Overwatch, even though...
Although they were released around the same time. I think people just got
Paladins
pissed.
is not even released yet. It's still not even officially
but it came out around the same time as Overwatch, and I think people just liked Overwatch more, and now they think of it as like a complete clone, but I think it was developed around the same time.
It was in development like shortly before Overwatch, but it was going in a different direction than Overwatch, and then when Overwatch came out, they literally just retracted everything and started making it like Overwatch.
It's similar to Fortnite and
that.
PUBG. You know, like people say, "Oh, Fortnite copied PUBG," which I thought so too when I first played it. Then you know, I learned that Fortnite had been in development for a long time.
So here's the thing: they did kind of copy it.
And
so
so
Fortnite
like,
came out.
That's what I was going to ask.
But the original Fortnite came out. It was a players versus CPU game. There's an actual game you can buy. Just no one thinks about it. You probably didn't even know it existed.
I didn't.
Yeah, there's an actual mode that exists that was out in beta form forever ago. It's a campaign,
something.
kind of. It's almost like a zombie survival.
Yeah.
Except for that you spend time in between rounds collecting crap and going around the world. And then you come together with your friends and you have to build up like a base. And the traps are super useful in that case because the zombies are going to be coming out of the storm. And so they took that, and when they saw PUBG's success, they were like, ooh, cool. And they threw together their game mode that included what made them cool, like what already they had in the game, like traps, building, collecting, and then they put it into a battle royale mode. So that in that way, it actually was
it's
pretty direct. Yeah.
So it's pretty. So it's complicated, but also.
But they did it at a smart time because it wasn't super oversaturated at that point. Because there were a lot of games even before PUBG that had similar things, but they just never took off. And so when PUBG took off, Fortnite capitalized on that. Smart, super smart.
Yeah.
They took super advantage of it and they made it different enough that people wanted to play it. And now it's huge
and
because they took
free.
advantage. But now other people are trying to capitalize on it, and who knows?
If PUBG had been free, do you think that they would have done just as well as Fortnite? Like at
one point, PUBG was the most played game on Twitch.
It was.
Salute.
But if it was free, do you think Fortnite would have taken it over?
Probably not as much. I think it still would have to an extent because it is, in my opinion, still a very different game. It still has that base part that makes it very similar, but it's different enough that I think it still would have done well. Because it does add that building, which makes it a completely different game. You can destroy things, which you can't do in PUBG. It is more of a cartoony style, so there are I think enough differences that still would have done well. Do I think it would have done as well? Probably not.
Well, here's another thing is that PUBG wasn't on consoles for a while, and Fortnite went straight to consoles.
Still, it's only on Xbox.
It's only on Xbox. Fortnite went straight to all kinds.
Doesn't it suck on Xbox?
It's gotten a lot better. When it first came out...
Has it, though?
Yeah. And it wasn't... So here's the thing. It wasn't great when it came out, but to be fair, it also isn't that great on PC.
Oh, it's not good on PC. Well, it's better now.
Especially when it first came out.
Like,
was in a pile of garbage.
It was
yeah,
awful.
when I bought it because my friends wanted to play with me.
Why did you buy it?
Because they're like, oh, this game's
It's
so
an
awesome.
early access game that was garbage. I can't believe you spent money on
I started
See,
playing
I
it.
played on Xbox because my friend bought it, and I have an Xbox game share with him.
So
I never purchased it.
So I played it, and I was just like, yeah, you know, this is technically early access, but the game mechanics, like we talked about, it's not polished. It's like dang hard to shoot in that game. It makes me want to go back to Overwatch where I can shoot, and so. It just, it strikes me that, it being unfinished and...
it is actually technically released now.
Okay, well...
It did come out.
At the time,
yeah.
being unfinished, being unpolished, how popular it got, and it not being free. I mean, I was surprised. Me
too.
I like things about PUBG over Fortnite. I
mean, it is cheap,
probably
though.
Always will, but I was never a PUBG fanboy. I played it maybe 5 times.
See, I've played it a lot more than that.
I've still never played it.
It's been a while. It's actually a pretty fun game. I've only played it on Xbox, and I haven't even played it since the new map came out. It's just kind of died off for me a little bit. But, yeah. But the thing is, early access has become such a big thing anyways.
Yeah.
Like, how many games do we think...
Sea of Thieves?
It's not early access.
Okay, not early access, but basically...
But the game was early access.
Well, basically...
For $60.
They're like,
But it isn't, though. Like, what I'm talking about is literal early access games.
Sure.
Yeah.
Which there are so many of right now, and it's going to keep being a trend.
And people are going to keep buying early access games.
Kickstarters. It's like early access. How many early access? DayZ.
Games.
There was like... 7 Days to Die, I'm pretty sure, is still early access. Ark Survival, and some of them are good, but a lot of them will never even make it to the release stage.
But the argument can be made that like Sea of Thieves, it not being early access per se, but it coming out was probably less developed than other quote-unquote early access games.
Possibly. I mean, I think a big difference, though, is it is a very polished game. Like, you don't see a lot of the issues you see in other games with it, like...
Yeah, it was a polished game.
So just a matter of content.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's just... Yeah, I mean, a lot of games are going to screw up with that, I assume. Like, No Man's Sky did, and the big publishers like Microsoft and Sony put so much pressure on these... Technically, maybe even should have been indie games because they weren't developed by huge AAA studios a lot of times. And they're putting all this pressure on them, and then they make it 60 because they have so much backing, and then it just releases and people are expecting more. But at the very least, it is a very polished game.
Okay.
Compared to games like PUBG, where...
It was a mess.
Boy, is it not polished.
Right, yeah.
Even now that it is technically released, it still has so many problems.
I just don't like the trend of early access games because... It really bothers me that PUBG charged people money when it was in early access. Like, and then they started adding loot boxes while it was still in early access and it wasn't a fully released game.
Yeah, that was bad.
Like, that is predatory. That is... I'm sorry, if you bought that, you're dumb.
PUBG was definitely pretty greedy about it. And they're greedy now still.
But to be fair, who's not greedy?
Well, yeah, of course they're greedy, but, like, this wasn't like
but
this 10 years ago.
I agree with you. They should not charge for the game and then do loot boxes. You got to do, like... You got to figure that out.
Yeah.
Although
are you a free game or are you not a free game?
Overwatch does.
Overwatch does it, but you get all the access to all the characters. They don't have.
And you can
right, but in PUBG you have access to everything as well.
Right, but the emphasis
it's not exempt. Overwatch isn't exempt. It's still
it's not exempt, but still you have that MOBA-esque type game. PUBG is a first-person shooter. Each person is technically... Well, okay.
It's a third-person shooter.
Technically, there is a first-person mode, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not technically, there is.
Oh.
So, like Overwatch, yes, it has its loot boxes. It does cost money, but it does give you more access to things than...
But, I mean, PUBG literally gives you access to everything. There's nothing in the game that you can't have right off the bat. You just have to find it. So, it's all skin stuff.
I was just talking about when it was in early access, when the game wasn't officially released.
Think that an early access game should charge and do loot boxes. That seems messed up.
Like, I don't think it should charge money, period.
I have to disagree with you there, just because they need to make money to continue development, and I think that's what people forget, is developing a game is not cheap, especially when you're not a AAA studio.
I didn't pay early access for Breath of the Wild when it came out.
Yeah, but that's released by a AAA studio with Nintendo's full backing. PUBG was like...
Okay, if it's not AAA, then yes.
And PUBG never was.
But
I disagree that they should be able to do both things. That seems messed up for an early access game that's doesn't even have all the content out yet. Like, it has one map at the time. To then do both things at the same time. Choose one or the other to help your studio out or whatever. And I think it was smarter what Fortnite did, which was make the game free and then charge for that stuff in it. Because then people aren't too mad. Because they're like, I don't need that stuff, but I want it. It's kind of like League of Legends for me. It's like, I don't need those skins, but I kind of do.
But I want them.
But also,
they're nice.
Doesn't League of Legends does it make most of its money off of skins, or does it make its money off of purchasing right points that then used to go buy characters?
Oh, I would say skins. I mean, because they give you the free rotating cast all the time.
They make a lot of money in a lot of ways now, but
and they also give you they give you those quest lines you can complete now to get more essence and more stuff like that. You can get champion shards to make them cheaper. You can get skin shards. They've done a lot to make it so that you don't even have to even pay anything to get even skins anymore. Okay. But you still do.
Okay.
If you want the one you want, you do have to buy it.
On that note, let's bring it back to E3 now.
We totally went off.
I know, we totally did. But
it's all gameplay rumors anyway.
Have you guys heard anything about PUBG or Fortnite in relation to E3?
Yes.
Okay.
The biggest Fortnite rumor is that it's coming to Nintendo Switch. And it's basically confirmed that it's coming to Nintendo Switch.
That surprised anyone? It's on a freaking phone. We played it on a phone.
I know.
So the reason it's confirmed but not confirmed is that someone got onto the eShop, which is the Switch's digital Okay, you all right?
But on the note of playing Fortnite on mobile with 2 people, click up here at this eye icon, and there will be.
Click on the clock.
It's not going to be on the clock.
Oh,
It could
it's
be.
not.
It's going to be the eye icon that's in the top right corner.
Oh, right. Well,
You couldn't.
I was thinking of like 2010 YouTube where you could
Oh
like,
yeah, you can put
embed
annotations
stuff.
wherever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't do that anymore.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
got rid of it. It didn't work.
Oh,
And that's
a bummer.
And that's why they have end cards now.
Oh, gotcha. Wow, I'm really like
Yeah.
8 years
No, you're
ago
right.
YouTube.
People abused that system hardcore. so-
Well,
They're niggas
that's
who couldn't
fair.
click
It's
anywhere
fair
on
that
the
they
screen.
did, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair that
It
they
is
did.
still technically says it exists. You just can't do anything with it. It won't let
Oh,
you.
okay.
Right, but
Okay.
the old ones before that were published are still active.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not talking about YouTube.
Yep. Anyway.
But yeah, so someone got onto the Nintendo Switch eShop and they like data mined some things. And they did this for Paladins, which I was going to talk about also, another rumor that ended up being true. But yeah, they data mined Fortnite, and they even found the icon for Fortnite on the eShop. Like you know how it is on Xbox, it's that icon. And so it's basically confirmed. The reason it is basically confirmed is because they data mined that for Paladins, and now they announced either yesterday or the day before, Paladins is officially coming to the Nintendo Switch. There's
Oh,
a
I
trailer.
thought that game was dead.
Oh no, it's not dead.
thought
It's
it
definitely not as popular as it used to be, but it's still going.
Huh.
But yeah, Paladins is like the Overwatch clone everybody talks about, and it is an Overwatch clone.
it's going to be the Overwatch for Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
that's what it's trying to be.
People are hoping that it'll push Blizzard to put Overwatch on the Switch. I don't think they will, but
Until the Switch is more powerful, they won't. They can't.
Oh, it can run Overwatch.
it can run Overwatch.
Is
If
not that
it's
complex
running
of a game.
Paladins at 60 frames per second, like it'll
Is
run
it?
it will run Overwatch.
Here's my question: is putting multiplayer only games online, multiplayer only games, a smart thing to do on the Switch?
Well, Paladins is going to try, or Hi-Rez is going to try it. I mean, there is the thing that, the Nintendo Switch's online system is pretty archaic and not that great, but it's still there. You can still play games online on the Switch.
The reason I say that is, I guess for me it wouldn't be a problem because I do play mostly at home.
Right, yeah.
But the idea of the Switch is to be able to go anywhere.
Right.
But
Yeah.
those are the games that, because there is no, unless you have Wi-Fi, you can't play online with the Nintendo
Yeah.
Switch.
Well, like, people act like this, like, everyone goes out of the house with their Switch. I never leave the house with my Switch. Basically,
It's not
ever.
true. You just came here with it.
This is literally, okay. But, like, I have internet access here for one thing.
Yes, you do.
And, like, people still use the Switch. There are people that literally never take their Switch out of their dock. And,
I was just trying to be
yeah,
controversial.
I know you were.
I,
But, like,
I probably wouldn't. I'd probably do it once to be like, oh, cool, I can do this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna bring it to New York. We're gonna
Yeah.
on the plane.
Oh, yeah.
It's a perfect place.
Well-
to play.
well, the point-
Don't get pickpocketed.
yeah.
It can happen.
Because that'll be hard to
Goodbye.
do for that giant tablet.
Well,
But I'm
okay,
gonna keep it in my pocket
no,
for some reason.
okay, not
Just stick it
pickpocketed.
up like 3/4 of the way up my butt. Like, hey guys, look what I have.
No, but like if you have it in a bag or somewhere.
Yeah,
like,
Yeah, he'll be careful. Well, the point is that. Oh, wow. Okay.
Are you a growing boy?
I'm 22 years old. I don't know why this is still happening. The point I was trying to make is that, yes, that is one of the things of the Switch, but like you can still play multiplayer shooters because you can just dock it or you can just play it at home. And then the games that you play on the go are the games that don't require internet, like Breath of the Wild or whatever. So there's no reason to not have the games on the Switch. But I think Blizzard should put Overwatch on the Switch simply because the Switch is selling so well. But we'll see if Paladins pushes them there. But yeah, so that's coming out for the Switch. But
The Switch for Overwatch.
One day my coffee will be gone.
So I've never played Overwatch on a console.
I have.
The controls for the Switch, would it migrate easily over to the
mean, I'm
Switch?
sure
Like-
they
well,
figure it
yeah,
out.
it's literally the same as Xbox or PlayStation. They have all
It's
the
just
same
the same.
buttons. It's just
Unless
that
you
they're
play it the
differently.
Joy-Con way, then
well, that's what I was asking.
They have all the same buttons though.
it'll work. I would never play a first-person shooter with Joy-Cons, or almost any game with the Joy-Cons
Yeah.
separated.
Right.
But when you have them in the
In the
dock,
grip.
yeah,
in the
yeah.
grip.
or if you get an Elite Pro controller, whatever it is,
Yeah.
then you can. It's just a different controller.
Well, either
but
way,
it's the same
they all
controller.
have the same buttons. They're just numbered.
And
They
I've
just letter
played
differently.
I played the Overwatch demo. I want to say it was.
It was the beta,
on,
probably.
on my Xbox.
Yeah,
It's fine.
it plays fine. Yeah, it's really popular on consoles too. Like PlayStation 4.
well, I
has a
know,
few
I
million
know, I know
players
it's fine on PlayStation and Xbox. I was just
Yeah.
wondering with the Switch,
Yeah.
with how you could,
Well, yeah, Well, it's not. We're not in the Wii era anymore. Like the Switch has normal controls now.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like,
all need motion.
Yeah.
And mostly, at least from what I've seen, and I have not played that many games, the motion controls are integrated like differently than the Wii. Like the Wii was dependent on it.
Yeah.
The Switch uses it to its advantage. Like in Zelda, you can turn it off if you want, but you can also use it to aim. Like
Well, in Splatoon, that's like the most common way is gyro aiming is what it's called.
Yeah, so you can aim with the joysticks, but then you can get that extra little bit of like perfection, I guess, by like tilting using the tilt controls on it, or with Mario Kart, which I hate and which was not default. Don't give me motion controls on that, but you can turn it off.
You can turn it off.
So it isn't dependent. I feel like the Wii was maybe dependent in a way.
Mostly.
You could turn it off for a Wii.
I'm sure, but a lot of games were very dependent on that.
Yeah.
But the Switch is definitely a more robust, well-built console that's actually built to do more, which is why we're seeing third parties on it. When back in the day, that was just not a thing.
Yeah,
like Doom's
which is
on
exciting.
it,
Yeah,
as Nick always brings up. And now it's my turn to bring it up.
Bring what up?
Doom.
Oh,
on
right.
The Switch.
Nick's like, what are you talking about? I don't know about that.
What?
Yeah, but that's basically why Fortnite is confirmed but not confirmed. But like we knew it was coming. Like they'd be stupid to not put Fortnite on the Switch.
Okay.
We just been jumping all over the place.
Because we're very good,
But it's just the way E3 is just jumping all over the place. I want to go back to Microsoft for a second though, because there's something I wanted to mention. So they've rented out a huge theater called Don't Die, Keefen. They've rented out a huge theater called the Microsoft Theater, I guess. I don't think they did that last year. So a lot of people are saying that this year's E3 is actually going to be like Microsoft's comeback. Because, we can't, you and Keefen, we can't deny this. Xbox has not been great this generation, for the most part.
I would say it started off as a pile of trash with their marketing, because their marketing team didn't know what they were doing. And then Phil Spencer took over, and he's like, I know what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, like, they're adding in a bunch of stuff. On that note, and a little bit of rumors, but less rumors and more what I want to see, is if it is rumored to be so big, get some games.
Yeah.
Just saying.
How about some games,
Let's get some exclusive games. Like
you want the games
cool.
part of video games?
Yeah, like they've done so much. Like I trust Phil Spencer. Like that's weird to say that I trust like a CEO corporate dude, but he listens. He does so much stuff. Like backwards compatibility, genius. Like the fact that I can go back and if I want, I can put it in a 360 game, or now they're even doing Xbox games. And you have the games with gold where they give you like tons of free games, including 360 games. Like that's awesome because I plugged it, like I put in Halo Reach and played it on my Xbox One, and I was like, this is cool because that was one of the only games, the only Halo game that wasn't included on the Master Chief Collection.
Right.
Even ODST was on there.
Well, because he wasn't on there.
But Reach was like, yeah, it's true. But
Because
he wasn't really in ODST either.
Well,
but that was like an extra thing. It doesn't really matter.
He was in the credits.
Point is, like that. Like it's cool to see that I can like play old games, and I'm not I don't put as much time as other people do into gaming probably anymore, just because at least the last week or so. But I would like to see I think that's cool. The game share, the crossplay, the backwards compatibility. Like, those are really good reasons to buy an Xbox because you don't lose everything you've purchased before. That's always the hard part about getting a new console is you're like, crap, well, now every game I own that I spent so much money on is basically going to sit there and collect dust because there's no effing way I'm taking out my old console anymore. Like, you always pretend you will, and then it just sits somewhere. Like, my 360's at my parents' house. I haven't pulled it out, and now I don't really need to because if I want to play Need for Speed Most Wanted, just throw it into my Xbox. Freaking love that game. And now I can play it again if I want. Even if I only play it for a couple minutes, maybe 30 to an hour, that's still something that I can do that other consoles can't do. And I love that. And I don't have to buy it again. Also cool. So they've done a bunch of awesome stuff. It's headed in an amazing direction. And Phil Spencer's really changed that marketing. Well, a big help is probably getting rid of the Kinect and adding more processing power to the Xbox in the first place.
Right.
I loved the Kinect actually in the Xbox One. I liked being able to control it, but it was never integrated as good as it should have been. But let's do that. Let's get some games.
Yeah. So
Even if
that's
they're
what
not
you
coming
want.
out for a couple of years, let's get games.
Yeah.
I want to see a good lineup of strong exclusives that won't be canceled. Gonna have like tons of stuff that people are gonna be talking about.
Do you have any in mind or any that are rumored?
Nope, give me something new. Because they're like he already said, like they already are probably gonna do Halo 6, Gears of War, another Forza, of course, because Forza sells great and they're amazingly polished, beautiful games every time. But let's get some new stuff out there. I want to see some new IPs. Let's try to like come back and do what PlayStation's doing, where they're having so many amazing
And
games
Nintendo.
come out consistently, and I feel like Nintendo needs to announce some more too. Like they started out really strong, and I feel like it's really slowed down.
I disagree with you, but when we talk about Nintendo, we'll talk about it.
That's fair.
Okay.
But I just wanted to talk about what you said about Microsoft like making the Xbox better. I completely agree about the games, obviously, but I think they talked about the accessibility controller recently, helping
Which is
disabled
so
gamers.
cool. That's
They pushed the 120 hertz update to the Xbox One and the Xbox One X. They did Game Share. They've done Game Pass. They've the games with gold, backwards compatibility. Microsoft has set themselves up perfectly for next generation because they got all of these features that PlayStation does not have.
Kind of like what the PlayStation 3 did when it failed against the 360 at first, and then they made
refined
a huge comeback.
Yeah, and they made a huge comeback. So all we need this E3 is Microsoft just needs to announce games. They don't. You got your accessibility controller out of the way. You got your 120 hertz update out of the way. You got the most powerful console on the market right now. Let's get new IPs. Maybe even bring imagine if they said, "Oh, by the way, we brought Scalebound back." I mean, some people might have a little.
They won't.
They have some problems with that, but bring Scalebound back. Don't delay Crackdown 3 again. Maybe even reboot the Fable franchise. Maybe
I disagree with you on delaying Crackdown 3. I disagree because I want it to be good. Delay it until it's good. I want that game to come out polished. I want it to come out with
it's
a good
literally
campaign.
been in development since 2014.
I know, but if it comes out and it's not fully finished, people are going to be pissed.
That's
and
true.
It's gonna suck
You're right.
again. Don't pull a Sea of Thieves where you don't have all the content.
Sure.
Get it in there.
Sure, but if you delay too long, if it's
people
not,
don't care
if
about
it-
Crackdown 3 anymore.
If it's not a
Like,
priority,
they
it becomes a meme.
I know they already don't care, so keep it delayed until it becomes awesome. Have it released and be like, "Holy crap!"
That's true.
This is
That
like the
could
first
happen.
one where it was a surprise sleeper hit, and then the second one failed. Make this like a huge game that comes out and hits hard. Like make it hit hard, make it awesome. Put Terry Crews in like all of that game because he's freaking amazing and he already's in it.
Oh my gosh, if Terry Crews was in the game.
He is.
He is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you not see it where he does like a whole like thing? Yeah,
Well,
he's
I don't
part of
follow Crackdown.
Oh, he's
so.
part of Crackdown. Give him a lot. He's great.
No, there are a lot of games
That'll get people to buy the game.
There are a lot of
Yes,
games-
it would. Yes, it would.
there are a lot of games that are hiring Andy Serkis to do a lot of their voice acting.
That's he's amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing, and I love seeing him in those games because it's just awesome.
So along the accessibility controller, because we never really talked about that, and I don't know. Do you know what that is, Tanner?
No, I don't.
So they made an accessibility controller that has tons of like add-on and plugins you can put into it, so that people with disabilities can play.
Yeah.
So it can make it so
Okay,
that if
yeah,
you
yeah.
have some kind of
Now
disability, it makes it easier. But also something awesome, not even just going to be for like Microsoft stuff. They're releasing it to everyone because they really want everyone to be able to.
Like
get
they
it, which
want
I think is
PlayStation
awesome.
and Nintendo to pick it up, and
Yeah.
they want it on PCs.
which is so cool. Like that's. I feel like that's really a big thing that Phil Spencer's been doing.
How does it work?
Here, let me pull out a picture of it real quick.
I think that's such a cool thing that they're doing is like he's really pushing the envelope of being friendly and like really wanting to work together with other people as opposed to making this a war. Like I think he's trying to break down the war.
Like that's what it looks like.
And we'll probably throw up a picture.
Oh, okay, so people that like don't have full function of their
hands or things like that.
Yeah.
I think
And
there's
then
even
you
like
can-
voice commands
Yeah,
you can do.
like they're gonna have tons of plugins you can add. Like they want
there's-
full open third-party support so that people can do anything with it. And I think that's such a cool thing to do. Like give everyone a
it's-
chance.
yeah.
And they're opening it to everyone. They're trying to make it that less of a war and more of let's make gaming great, which I think is what VR should have done, and they failed, and which is why VR is not doing great. And I think it's awesome to see that kind of stuff.
I had a friend who had a brother who had a disability.
I thought you were gonna say someone else.
Yeah, I had a friend who had a brother who had a sister who had a mother who had.
You just kept going down the rabbit hole.
I had a friend, or I have a friend who has a brother who has a disability. I see what you mean. To where he would he wanted to play video games so bad, his favorite game was Guitar Hero, but he only had control of like one of his left hand, and so he couldn't strum with the right. So he would do this, and then he would like bend his chest down to press down on it, and that's how he would play.
That's impressive.
Yeah, and so
like stuff for him, I bet he would be so happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and, you know, it's like less than 1% of gamers probably have a disability, but it's the fact that Microsoft is thinking about this and they're doing things for people. And you know, like, yes, they want to make money. Yes, they're a company. Yeah. But like Sony's gotten really greedy this generation.
And lazy.
Except
for with their IPs. They haven't got lazy there.
Not there.
They got that.
But I'm just it's cool to see Microsoft reaching out.
Is there any hope for people who are blind?
I would assume that there'll be... I mean, have you not seen... There's a video I saw of a blind kid who was playing like fighting games and purely by sound. And I don't know that this will work for blind people, but they opened it for third-party
That was
support.
Daredevil.
No, I'm talking about a real kid.
I know.
And he could play fighting games just by listening to where the characters were and like the moves they were using, and he could beat people.
Wow.
So, like, obviously this is like a really impressive kid who also learned echolocation, so that's kind of awesome. But not everyone's going to be there. I don't know that they'll add something. Like, maybe they will. Maybe it'll have some kind of speaker that gives like output of what's going on with certain games where it makes it so they can kind of track what's happening. But that's what's awesome about opening it to third-party support is people are smart. Not like me. People can do things. And they're going to create like awesome stuff. So possibly blind people, possibly like tons of different stuff that's going to be like super, super out there to help all gamers.
Okay.
Which is cool. But yeah, like I said, Microsoft has set themselves up really well for next generation. E3, let's get some games, new IPs. You might win E3 this year. Microsoft, you could. Maybe not.
Do it.
But we'll see.
And that'll push PlayStation and Nintendo to work. Nintendo kind of has a battle of its own. It just kind of does its own thing. It's never really...
they just kind of do their own thing.
Yeah, it never really was a huge part of the console war just because it doesn't...
Well, because they never make powerful consoles.
It's the crossover so much less. With PlayStation and Xbox, the crossover is basically the same. Yeah. And they essentially play with the same look and everything. So it's just a matter of preference in the games. Exactly. So like they've set themselves up so well. Nintendo's doing their thing, and they're gonna just keep trucking along because that's what Nintendo does, and they're gonna keep selling well. But Xbox just really needs that hard hitting like couple games that's really gonna like announce a couple new IPs, announce those old games that are coming out like Halo 6, old IPs that are gonna be coming out, and make them awesome. Yep. That's all they need.
And that's how they win E3.
And then that'll make PlayStation work harder, just like they did with the PlayStation 3. And then it's just gonna continue to be that cycle of
competition is good.
Yeah, it breeds innovation.
There you go. Breeds innovation. We talked about that. Okay. But we are still going off topic again. So let's move on to Nintendo. I have a lot of stuff for Nintendo, but I can condense it a little bit. So Nintendo's obviously not going to be announcing new hardware because they have new hardware out.
Anything on the Labo? I gotta know.
I've literally heard nothing about Labo.
Oh, that's fine.
I haven't either.
Which is fine by me, so I don't really care. But so here's some of the... So there was a leak. There was a leak of a picture of like the E3 booths that Nintendo will have. And these are just a list of some of those games. These will have demos and stuff. There's going to be Fortnite, Paladins, Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or Dragon Ball Fighters, however you pronounce it. Yeah. Overcooked 2. So they're making a sequel to that.
And we're going to be releasing a video in Overcooked 1.
And Keaton's going to yell at us.
Yep. Yeah. There was also Starlink. Have you guys watched that? The Starlink. It's this new IP. I don't know if it's Activision.
Is it like a Linkle?
Yeah, I was going to say. Is it like...
Was it Activision? Sister? I think it's Activision's new IP. But it's like you build the ship. Like there's a toy ship and you build stuff onto it and you can put add-ons onto it and then it puts it into the game. So like if you added a new gun to your ship, like in the game, your ship will have a new gun. And it's coming out for all platforms: PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch.
I have a very off-topic comment about Activision.
Of course you do. We've already gone off topic enough.
Real quick. I was going at my job. I was going through our prospect list of potential clients, and one of them is Activision and Blizzard.
That's cool.
Yeah. And you took him up on it, right?
That's why he can.
We're trying to, yeah.
Obviously, you'd want that.
But we have contacts within the organizations that we're trying to market.
So what you're saying is you're going to get us early access games for our podcast,
everything.
And you're going to
So
promote.
what's the new Diablo game they're making? There's a rumor for that too.
Well, it's more focused on
killing the devil.
It's Diablo Battle Royale. I know.
Wait, I'm going to take a guess. I bet you kill the devil.
Ooh. That's a bold prediction for a Diablo game.
Right?
Except this time, the devil is inside you. It's metaphorical.
It's a metaphorical Diablo
It's about
game.
It's like Osmosis Jones. You're gonna go inside yourself.
Well, yeah, it's all,
That's a reference.
it's all about overcoming your addictions. That's what the new Diablo game's about.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
go in a different route.
What a deep.
All right. So before this goes off even more topic, so I think. Oh my gosh, what is up with my voice today?
Keepin, take over.
No,
Just kidding.
I'm fine.
You got way more than I got.
So in terms of these rumors, I don't think anything is completely out of the question. I think these are all safe rumors. Like, these are outlandish. Like, Dragon Ball FighterZ, everyone's been requesting it, and Dragon Ball Xenoverse did well on the Switch. Overcooked 2, Overcooked 1 is one of the best-selling games on the Switch. We all knew Fortnite and Paladins were coming. This new Starlink game looks really interesting. I'm going to be watching footage of that. You guys should look this up after the podcast. I'll have to show you. But yeah, I think those are all safe bets. But here's some rumors that weren't on this list. There's a Star Fox game in the works by Retro Studios, but it's a racing game.
Why?
Star Fox Grand Prix is the rumor.
I was excited.
I've never played the Star Fox game in my life. I have no idea what they are.
You never played Star Fox 64?
No, I just never cared.
Okay.
Do you have any idea?
The only thing I know about Fox at all is because of Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah, baby.
That's
Oh, really?
literally it.
Star Fox 64 was one of my favorite all-time games on the Nintendo 64.
So now you can race with those favorite characters.
So the Star Fox GameCube game was awful. It was just like
Yeah, it was a Star Fox Adventures
something like
with
that.
the one where he had the staff and there was that blue wolf.
Yeah,
or blue
yeah.
fox. I actually liked
So
that
what kind
game.
of what kind of game is Star Fox or Fox?
It's a Star Fox
Star
game.
Fox was.
I know, but what is
It's
it?
better. It's literally like its own genre.
Okay, I'll tell you.
mean,
what is the game?
He's better. In
Okay,
Okay.
so you would fly this like
Ship?
they called it what they called it, something wing.
R-Wing?
R-wing, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So in space.
Are you sure it was an X-wing?
Yeah, I was about to say that, but then I was like, oh, well, that's not it.
No, they're called R-Wings.
So basically, is this game that where you're in it and you would go through a level. It would take you through it. So
So it's a linear game.
except there were a few levels where it was like, kind of battle.
So is it like a
royale-ish.
side-scroll game?
But it's
No.
going forward.
Star Fox 64 was not a side
It's not. You're not going from side to side.
It's a third person.
Well, you can do first person. As well.
Okay, yeah.
So, and you would be in space or you'd be on a certain planet and you'd be in this R-Wing and you would, shoot at enemies and try to save the day. And it was intergalactic and you would have like 3 teammates on your team. And it had its own story. It's very popular and they tried to continue Star Fox on the GameCube and it just didn't work out because at that time you were actually out of the R-Wing. And you were just kind of on an adventure mode. So like for example, what you see from Fox in Super Smash Brothers, you never see that in the Star Fox games except for the one on GameCube. You never see him out of the ship. You're always in the ship.
Yeah.
And for some reason, they're all animals flying ships. I mean,
Slippy's a frog.
yeah,
Pepe's a rabbit.
and Falco is a falcon.
Falco's a falcon.
Falco
He's
is
from Fox?
yeah, Star Fox.
Whatever.
And then Wolf is a wolf.
Yeah.
What?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know.
So I guess my question there would
And
be...
Andros is a monkey.
It's going to be a Switch-only game, I assume.
I'm assuming yes.
So
you know what Retro Studios is, right? Retro Studios. They made the Donkey Kong Country games.
Like Tropical Freeze?
Yeah, that game. It's
actually very pretty looking.
So like they're basically like they're a Nintendo company, I guess. They're like a second party that develops games for Nintendo.
Okay.
So
So here's the thing. I guess I can see why that game could work as a racing game. My question, does Switch need another exclusive racing game when they already have Mario Kart?
and another Sonic racing game is coming to the Switch as well.
I got one of those for free.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
I mean,
But my question is, do they need, because Mario Kart still is big.
No, they don't.
Do they need another racing game?
I mean, there's some people that want another racing game, but I would want another. If there was another racing game on the Switch, I'd want like a Forza kind of racing game, a more realistic
Open world,
one.
realistic.
Yeah, realistic one.
I am so disappointed in that news that the Star Fox game is going to be a racing game.
It's just a rumor, and there's no confirmation of it. But it
Okay,
is.
I hope
it is,
it's false.
It is heavily rumored, though.
I would
So-
like for them, because I know that Nintendo's tried to, revamp Metroid and make it like, very
Metroid
very
Prime.
popular. And I was like, I want them to do it with Star Fox. I know why they haven't. Like, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But this would be a time to do it with how the Switch is. And make it campaign heavy so that you can take it on the go as the Switch, and then to hear that it's going to be a racing game is just
Well, what if that was just a rumored multiplayer section and you still have the campaign?
I would like that. I mean, Star Fox 64 had a multiplayer.
I mean,
section.
the title is the rumored title is Star Fox Grand Prix.
Okay, then never mind. Take that
Definitely fighting people.
Yeah.
So
I'm
guessing it would be a game without like the power-ups that...
Probably not. I mean...
It just seems like it would be such a boring game.
I have no interest in it whatsoever.
Star Fox, as a racing game?
No, I mean, I have no interest in Star Fox as a racing game. I would play another Star Fox game.
I'll be honest, I have no interest in it as a game, but it does sound like it would be more fun if it wasn't a racing game.
Yeah.
If you played the Star Fox 64, maybe we'll do that for a nostalgia test.
We'll play Star Fox.
Ryan does have it.
Yeah, he has.
There you go.
I played with him like a year ago. And it was
Well,
awesome.
we'll
I
have
guess
to
we
play
can see
it.
if it holds up then, because I'll be the test group.
You'll be the control
group. Yeah. Well, that is disappointing that the new Star Fox game will be like that. Other stuff that wasn't on the list or on that picture. There's Mario Odyssey DLC rumored. I don't think they're going to though, but we'll see. Because they announced the Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC before it came out, which was a bad move, and a lot of bad press came out of that. So maybe they're waiting to just...
Why did bad press come from that?
Well, because they feel like it's the whole, DLC is stuff they removed from the game to sell us later.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So maybe they learned their lesson and they're going to announce the DLC a year after the game's out. I don't think that rumor's credible, though. I don't think they're going to talk about Mario Odyssey at E3 at all. The game has had it's sold over 10 million copies. It's had its time in the spotlight. This is an interesting rumor. The next Assassin's Creed game is going to come to the Switch.
Okay.
I haven't played Assassin's Creed.
And I know a lot of people have been saying, well, the Switch can't handle these games, and that's why it's not getting third-party support. Assassin's Creed 3 and Black Flag were on the Wii U, which was a terrible system.
Oh my gosh. Could it even run Black Flag?
I don't know. I mean, it did, but not well.
That's a big game.
But I feel like
Assassin's
the Switch
Creed
could run it
ain't
better.
That bad either.
Yeah.
They
could tone it down for the Switch. It's possible. I mean, if it's running on the Wii U, they'll be able to run it.
Are there any other big exclusives they're going to have?
They have... Mostly, Nintendo's probably going to be mostly talking about Smash Brothers.
See, that's my thing is, I feel like, back to what I said earlier, and you said we talk about it later, now's the time.
Yeah.
I feel like they've slowed down. They had such a strong, release games with Odysseys, Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart Deluxe, all these games, and I don't feel like they're releasing anything that's different anymore. I'm sure they will, and there's always those slowdowns.
So, are you saying that they're not announcing enough games, or that it's all the same thing?
It's just they're pulling a Nintendo, where they just do the same thing over and over again. They're gonna do a new Smash Bros. Game, which I'll probably get, and by say probably, I'll definitely get because I've never owned one in my life, so I'm kind of excited. But it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's never really changed up that much. They add new people, they add some new maps, they make it look nicer.
That's true.
They add maybe the Smash Balls, that's something new.
Mm-hmm.
But they never change it up enough. They've never
they have
done a ton.
They have tried to do campaign-ish type stuff.
Yeah.
And it's fun.
I have fun with those, but it's not a campaign.
Yeah,
I want another one of those though.
I do too. I always have fun with them.
Yeah.
Also, make it so you play with 4 people instead of 2.
Ooh, that'd be really.
That would be awesome.
That'd be
right?
that'd be really good.
If they have something like that on this new one and they don't have 4 people capability, I'll be really surprised. Because you think they would.
Yeah, for the campaign, I mean, because they'll always have.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay, cool. Okay.
The one before you could play with 8.
Yeah.
Imagine you can only play with 2 people now.
Yeah, that'd be crazy. So that's what I mean by them slowing down is and it's not necessarily bad because they're really focusing on the third party thing because they want to make people who bought their console happy by giving them a ton of stuff. Because a lot of kids who probably have a Switch don't have other consoles and they've probably never played some of these other games. To us, old news, but to maybe a majority of Switch owners, it's not.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So for them, awesome. But for those of us because I will never buy a game that's on Xbox and computer on my Switch.
Mm-hmm.
I just won't because it will run better on my Xbox One X. It'll run better on my computer. I have no reason to run it on a Switch.
And I feel the same way. But I bought a Switch.
Maybe smaller games I guess a Stardew Valley if you were into that
That's
it
fun to
lends
have
itself
portable.
perfectly to a Switch because you can play it on the go. It's a nice, fun game you can play. So in that case, that is a different scenario. But for the most of the games, like if I was to get Doom, no way in heck am I getting it on a Switch.
No
way.
Uh-uh.
I'll get it on a console that's actually going to run it, where I can look at it and be like, oh, this is pretty and it runs well.
But those kids who only have a Switch will get
They'll like it again, but my problem is I don't know, and maybe they'll surprise me and they'll be like, look at this game, and everyone will be like, what? Because they've been really good with the Switch
We'll see.
so far. But that's what I mean by them slowing down is they hit it hard, and now I feel like they're kind of slowing down.
Well, here's the thing: like Smash hype alone.
Well,
is gonna
you're
carry.
right. It's going to do everything.
It's so you got to understand Nintendo games. Just the fan base of Nintendo games, like they're so loyal and they're so iconic that Smash Bros. They could literally announce nothing else, and like Smash Bros. On its own would carry Nintendo's E3. Like,
you're not wrong.
Like Breath of the Wild 2016 E3, like it carried Nintendo.
I mean, they had like the whole tree set up,
like-
and it was like a whole. Did you see that?
Yeah,
E3?
I did. Uh-huh.
Yeah, they had a whole like Zelda tree. You could go up in it. Like they had like a very interactive Zelda thing.
Like
Super
one
cool.
Nintendo game can carry their E3. So
It can, but for me, someone who's not a Nintendo fanboy,
It will.
I would like to see more instead of just the same thing they do every time, which is take their game and then re-release it again.
Yeah. Probably not going to happen though. 'Cause
You're right.
This is what makes them money. So
And it works. So I
Yeah.
can't. Can I fault them? No. Did I buy a Switch anyway? Yes. So I guess whatever they're doing worked.
well, I mean, Microsoft's just going to rehash Gears, Forza, and Halo. I mean,
Yeah,
it's the same.
but I
thing.
mean-
but they also create new IP. Well, Microsoft hasn't, but PlayStation has been making new IPs this generation. So
I mean, Microsoft's done a little bit of it, and at least I mean, Halo 5 changed it up enough. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if you've seen what Forge can do.
no,
It's the most incredible custom map builder I've ever witnessed people work with. Like the other day, I was watching a Achievement Hunter video. Someone made a bowling alley in Halo that functions like a bowling game. Like,
Nice.
it even brings the ball back. You hit stuff, it even comes down. It shows what your score was. It keeps track of strikes and spares. Like, gives you a team. Like, it works like a bowling game would, but it's in Halo.
That is
That's
so
crazy.
weird.
And I'll show you guys because it's incredible, like, what people can create. Like, they've created huge things, like a Jenga tower where people hit it down and you have to try to stay up there. Like, super cool
That actually
stuff.
sounds
that
fun.
sounds really
and
fun.
I played it and it's super fun.
Wow.
I wish we all had Halo so we could do something with it because it's so dang fun. But like, it's like Halo 5 didn't get great press and I didn't even buy it, but they added some really cool stuff. But I don't feel like Nintendo does that. Deluxe Mario Kart did add in a bunch of new maps that weren't on Wii U or you had to pay for them.
yeah.
So that's cool. But again, that's what Nintendo does. So how can I fault them? I
Yeah,
knew what they were
they make
going to
new
do,
games,
and then I bought it anyways. So it's
Yeah.
my fault.
Yeah.
It's like people that buy early access games and then complain about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what you were getting yourself into.
There's no point
Promises
being mad
are
about it.
only go so far.
I didn't know when I bought PUBG because my friend just forced me to. So,
Yeah.
whatever. Oh well.
Yeah.
Learn my
Whatever.
lesson.
So I knew what I was getting myself into. It's just something I would like to see. If that means anything.
We'll see. They might have kept something completely quiet.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're mostly going to be talking about Smash. There's going to be a Splatoon Invitational as well.
Should I get Splatoon?
We can't play together really unless we play ranked. But
You can't do like a custom game.
and no, you could do a custom private game. Yeah. We'll talk off the podcast and I'll tell you
That's
if
fair.
we should get Splatoon
That's
because
fair.
we're really going all over the place here, and I still have stuff to get through here. So yeah, Smash. So the Assassin's Creed game we're talking about maybe on the Switch, hopefully. In terms of just Nintendo games, Animal Crossing is the most requested one. I think that they want a new Animal Crossing. Never played Animal Crossing,
either.
so I don't care. So
Woo. I mean,
yay.
Isn't it very similar to Sims?
I don't know. Kind
not-
of. It's
okay.
like Harvest Moon / Sims.
I've also never played Sims.
the audience
I would like
is the audience is, but
Yeah.
the
Okay.
gameplay isn't.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. That's
So-
all I need to know.
So yeah, new Animal Crossing game. We'll see. Hopefully they announce it so that they'll be happy. Pikmin 4 maybe is a
I've
rumor.
also never played a Pikmin
Never
game.
played a Pikmin game.
Pikmin
But
is.
It's such a niche game. I don't know.
Some people love
Um,
it. I find it like incredibly frustrating.
Yeah,
like, and boring.
Just
at the
wait till we
same
play
time.
Rayman, then you'll see frustration.
Well, okay, but at least it won't be boring, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, it's super fun.
Then
Yeah. So
I'll-
Pikmin, no interest in. I know there's the niche audience that does like it, but possibly a 2D Zelda, maybe is rumored.
uninteresting. Breath of the Wild's
how
too
dare
good for
you?
me.
Just kidding. You're right.
I don't want to go down. Give me Breath of the Wild.
To be honest, I think I've only played one 2D Zelda. I think most Zeldas I've played are 3D.
I've decided I'm a Nintendo fanboy for Zelda now.
Yeah.
Give me another Breath of the Wild with a little bit of improvements, I'll get it.
I will buy a 2D Zelda game if it comes out on the Switch.
Of course you will.
But
Of course
yeah,
you
of
will.
course I will. But I don't think they're gonna do anything Zelda related. Honestly, I think it's gonna be all Smash and Pokemon.
That's fair.
I was gonna say Pokemon Rivers, but then they announced the game before, which they usually do anyway. So I think it'll be playable. So that'll
You're
be
talking
cool.
about the one we talked about last week.
Yeah, Pokemon
Let's
Let's Go.
Go!
Pokemon
Yeah.
Let's Go. So now I'm going to go into my predictions for Nintendo for E3. My first prediction is that Smash 5 will be released in September. That's the rumor. Because if they release it in November, it'll compete with Pokemon, and that's not going to happen. So September release. Hope I'm right, because that would be really
You
good.
don't think it could, or you don't think they want to, but it could definitely compete.
Well, compete, yes, but the Pokemon company doesn't want.
And there's no reason to fight.
And there's no reason to fight for
No,
that.
that's fair. That's terrible.
I was already talked about this. The new Assassin's Creed game will get a Switch port. My prediction. An Animal Crossing announcement. I also predict that Bethesda is going to port something to the Switch. I don't know if it's going to be Fallout 4.
Didn't they already port Skyrim?
Well, yeah, they ported Skyrim and Doom.
Does Skyrim work?
It's Skyrim.
Skyrim isn't that great or like, you know, the graphics.
Yeah, until you can
and
do
stuff.
mods, which I can do. A mod
Can't do
mine
that
on
on
the
Switch.
One X out
But
the butthole.
however,
That's great.
Skyrim runs on the Xbox. That's how it runs on the Switch. So it's just that there's no mods.
Okay.
Um,
But yeah, Skyrim will be sold everywhere.
Well, it's already sold really well.
Yeah.
They're not going to talk about Skyrim. But what I'm saying is that Bethesda will port something. People thought that maybe the Bethesda announcement, before we knew it was Fallout 76, was maybe Fallout 3 remastered, since it's been the 10-year anniversary, and maybe that'll come to the Switch. Maybe that's what they're saying for the Switch. Maybe it's Fallout 4. Maybe they'll port Fallout 76 to the Switch. Maybe they've made it so they'll go on. They've supported the Switch really well, so maybe they'll get that on there. But my prediction is that they will port something to the Switch. What that something is, I don't know.
Okay.
I also put Sinnoh remakes for 3DS. Now, Sinnoh is Gen 4 of Pokemon. I don't know if it's Gen 3 or It's Gen 4 of Pokemon.
Don't ask me.
So Diamond and Pearl, the Diamond and Pearl generation. It's been over 10 years. We want those remakes, but they would probably go on the 3DS, which would make me mad, but
Right, yeah.
it's just a prediction. I don't think it's going to happen, but I really want that. A new Fire Emblem game is going to be announced, because they already announced it the Nintendo Switch presentation, that there is a new Fire
Don't
Emblem
know anything
game.
about Fire Emblem.
So,
Like,
yeah.
great.
I'm mostly just
Good
saying
for
this
them.
for the Nintendo fans that'll be watching this podcast. They announced a Yoshi game last year, but didn't give a title or release date. I think
Woolly World?
It's not that. But I'm guessing...
Caitlin is very upset that that's not on the
Yeah.
Switch.
But I'm guessing that that's what they'll announce, the title and the release date. And maybe... I heard someone say there'll be Labo integration with that Yoshi game.
Hey!
But-
There's some
Hey!
Labo
But that's
news.
literally
I
the
want the
only... That's
Labo.
literally the only
Give
Labo
me more
news I've heard.
Labo, even though I don't have any.
That's all I want in video games.
Another prediction I have is Mario Tennis Amiibos.
I don't care about Amiibos.
Is it just a... What does
Those
Amiibos
figures. You know those figures? Like for Smash.
You've never seen those?
You don't know what the
Oh,
Amiibos are?
Wait, are you talking about like during like the
little,
opening
like,
scenes?
toys.
The little
Yeah,
toys
yeah,
that
yeah.
you put
And then you can put them on stuff and they give you benefits in certain games.
in the games. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Or you just collect them.
Yeah.
If you-
And
I,
these are-
I didn't
by
know
the
that's
way-
what they were called until you guys.
Yeah,
was
they're,
that a
they're
different
called
game?
Amiibos.
Look at this
Yeah.
scrub.
Yes.
Hey, I've never owned
yeah.
a Smash Bros. Game myself.
No, it's not even
but I-
Smash Bros. Just like
A lot of Nintendo games use
IPs
them.
have them.
Yeah.
Well, I also haven't had a Nintendo. Well, I have a Wii, but
That wasn't that era.
No, it wasn't.
And then this is a weird prediction. It's hardware related. I predict that they're going to announce a new dock with like added features that the first dock didn't
Like
have.
more power?
No, probably not more power.
Well,
But,
just
like,
a new skin.
But people complain that the first swing of dock or the first generation of docks scratched the screens if you didn't have a screen protector.
But I got one.
But me too. So maybe they'll add on to that. People are also complaining that there's no Ethernet port on the Switch dock, so maybe they're going to add that.
See, I would like it if they made it so that it would add a little extra power.
Well, my prediction. Well, another
That's
prediction.
that's what they had predicted. A lot of people had rumored that early on is that docked mode would be more powerful, and then undocked
Well, it is
mode
more
would-
powerful.
but like a lot more powerful.
Well, the problem is that the hardware of the Switch is in the Switch itself.
I know.
So the dock is really all the dock does is so that when it's in handheld mode, it's underclocked, so it's not as powerful. So all the dock does is it puts it at its max.
And I'm guessing that's
potential.
for battery life.
Yeah, for battery life and heating issues and things like that.
It does get a little bit hot sometimes.
Yeah. So, But yeah, those are all my Nintendo predictions. I really hope the Smash one is real. I want it to come out in September. I want this game sooner
Me
rather
too.
than later.
Then we can do a let's play.
So, but yeah, that's all my coverage for Nintendo. I don't know if you guys have any other thoughts about Nintendo.
Nope.
I have none.
Yeah.
All right, me? Okay, so I've been looking at some stuff, and in the last hour, there's been a rumor about a certain Valve game that might have the name Half-Life 3. I'm just kidding. I couldn't do it.
I was like, what the heck are you talking about? That has
No,
literally
there's not.
never been.
It's already been proven that it's
I
not gonna happen.
know. I want
Like,
it.
what?
I thought you had a PlayStation rumor though.
Okay, no. So
Thing.
I'm talking about Kingdom Hearts 3.
Of course you are.
So, okay.
Surprise!
I know, yeah, surprise. I'm the only one that is like, I mean, Ryan has been a fan of Kingdom Hearts, but not as much as me. He hasn't played as many games as me, and there are a ton out there, and it's kind of stupid how many there are. So Kingdom Hearts 3, 5 years ago, like we said before, was announced that it is now in development. And it's been such a long time since Kingdom Hearts 2, like a console game that was...
when did Kingdom Hearts 2 come out?
It came out when I was in junior high.
It was PlayStation 2, right?
It was Playstation 2, yeah.
Wow,
So
that was 2 generations ago.
Exactly.
My guess is like 2005. He's looking it up. So.
If I did the math in my head, I got it during my freshman year of high school, actually, which was...
Was that when it came out?
In junior high, yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe
2005.
Hey, you were right.
Oh, look at that.
Holy.
I was right.
It's been over 10 years. Now,
been almost 15.
so now understand, like, Kingdom Hearts fans haven't been left desolate. There have been lots of games, but they've all been on, like, the Game Boy SP, the PSP, the 3DS, and then they release new, revamped games like Kingdom Hearts 2, HD
on the PlayStation 4.
remix, whatever. And it's I'm sad to say, Kingdom Hearts will always be one of my favorite games of all time. But the way that they marketed their game, or the distribution model of how they spread it out with these smaller games that you had to buy every single other console for because they were exclusives. And now they're not, because it's like, okay, well, now that you have the PlayStation 4, we're going to release them all on this remix. But there's also new stuff in there that so you would buy it. And it's just become so weird that Kingdom Hearts is actually, I fear, has become a cult following.
And I think deservedly so.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what you're saying about Crackdown 3, and that's only been announced for like 4 years.
Right.
And the last one, second one, which was not good, I hear, was released in 2010. That's still years later. It's just Kingdom Hearts 3 at this point is just... Does anyone care? Except
here's the thing.
A lot of people, actually.
On all the different, gaming boards and discussions online, any of the general ones never talk about Kingdom Hearts. It's only Kingdom Hearts specific,
like those niche groups.
Yeah, that will ever say anything. But they'll say a lot because they're very devoted fans. That's why I fear it's become a cult following. It's no longer mainstream. Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 were mainstream games. And now I'm worried that they've kind of held off so much and disenfranchised potential.
What? You said disenfranchised.
It's a franchise.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They have with the weird game releases that
didn't mean anything.
Yeah. I mean, well, they meant stuff. Like, well, what's crazy is that they definitely add so much to the story and lore that when you play Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't know exactly what it's going to be like, because between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, you had the game in between. Technically, you didn't have to play it, but you still would have been confused if you didn't. And so I have no idea how it's going to be with Kingdom Hearts 3, because there's so much has happened, except a lot of it happened in the past. But it explains so much of what's going to happen.
I wonder if they'll pull like a Star Wars and say ignore everything except for the main 2 games, just to make it so that people
they can't
can actually understand.
They can't. They've gotten so entrenched in these backstories of Terra and Aqua and Ventus which characters. I'll say it. You guys will have no idea who it is.
Don't even have a clue.
Yeah.
I only know who's Sora.
Yeah,
And
Sora, Riku, and Kairi.
Yeah, those are
I don't even know them. I know literally.
But you've never played it.
No.
Like ever. So
I watched some gameplay of the number 2 so I could have a little bit more understanding when Tanner talks.
Yeah. So, so anyway, that's kind of just my thoughts on the current status of Kingdom Hearts. Is that I don't think people care that much. I think the announcement will be big just because it's been so long waited. But the general population of gamers are going to be like, oh, that's nice, and then never think about it again. And the Kingdom Hearts fans are going to go crazy. So my prediction for it, well, actually, before I get to that, the main singer for the Kingdom Hearts, soundtracks and stuff, Utada Hikaru, she always releases the main themes, and just recently, like yesterday, I saw an advertisement on YouTube playing her song. Ooh. So that's not a coincidence.
Good sign.
That's not a coincidence. They are going to be announcing a release date for Kingdom Hearts 3, and I predict that it's going to be in either end of October or November or early December.
They'll say probably fall this year.
Yeah, maybe.
And then it'll get pushed back.
No, it won't. The reason why I think those dates is that Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 both came out at those times. Obviously, during the holiday season, it's a good gift to give to people. Yeah. And I'm not aware of any huge exclusive PlayStation games coming out at that time. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't follow it too much.
I'm sure
Spider-Man is coming out.
It looks good.
It does?
That game
it's made by Square
Enix?
No, Insomniac.
Insomniac, who made Sunset Overdrive. Mm-hmm. And that's an amazing game with great travel systems. And if they just make that basically a very similar game in a Spider-Man skin, it's going to be awesome.
I think Spider-Man is September, though. So.
Well, it is believed that release date will be, before the end of this year. And so before the end of this year, I imagine they'll release at the same time they did Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. And also Chain of Memories was released at the same time. And plenty others, although it gets mixed up. But when they've released their main games, it's been at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And along with PlayStation, I'm sure they'll just be announcing a lot of games that people expect. Last of Us 2, they'll show more gameplay. They'll do more
Days Gone.
Which
probably more Spider-Man.
I don't give an F about Days Gone.
Me neither.
It looks like it's just every other game.
Looks super generic and boring.
Especially if you have Last of Us 2, why would you ever want Days Gone? But whatever.
If you have Last of Us 1, why would you ever want Days Gone?
Yeah. And so I'm sure they probably will throw in a couple new IP because PlayStation's been really good with that. But I think most of their stuff will be their hard-hitting titles that already did well, and they're just going to continue. Maybe another Infamous game.
Maybe.
But I would say, the majority is just going to be like showing you more polished and finished games that they've already announced.
Yeah, Sony is pretty predictable with E3, at least for the past few years, since they've been dominating this generation.
They don't need to be unpredictable. They already got it.
Yeah, they got everyone.
They haven't been predictable with Kingdom Hearts.
No, they have. Well, they don't own that. They don't. Own
at this point, it is predictable.
Square Enix, yeah.
At this point, it is predictable.
Yeah.
At this point, well, it's okay. It's like they've given enough that we do believe that they will announce the release date.
But I don't know that PlayStation will have anything else. Do you?
I doubt it. I mean, there's a couple other things I want to talk about with Sony, but real quick about Kingdom Hearts. I want to buy Kingdom Hearts 3. The problem is that I feel like I have to play Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 and all these
read the wiki.
And all these other games that came out. Because I don't want to have to play through 5 games to play Kingdom Hearts 3. I would be okay with just playing 1 and 2, but if I have to play all those in-between games...
Maybe Tanner can make a video of what you need to know before playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
There's so much I still don't even know. Because I haven't,
Someone will do.
Okay, so, like I said, Kingdom Hearts is a cult following, which means if you don't adhere by how they play the game and how they respond to the games, you're going to be ostracized. I haven't played every single game in Kingdom Hearts because I don't have a PlayStation 4. I can't get the remix, the most recent one that has the new content, because I still haven't beaten the one that's on the PSP, because I didn't have a PSP when I was younger. Yeah. That is what it's like. What happened to me happened to so many people. The only thing is that I cared enough that I still follow it. But all the people that liked Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, but don't care as much as I did, they're falling off. They're not going to be playing Kingdom Hearts 3.
See, I think but that's just something that I assume someone will put together on what you need to know.
Hopefully,
Which is probably what I should do with Metal Gear Solid 5, honestly, because there's such a rich backstory of stuff that I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm sure I can watch something that'll teach me what I need to know.
They do have some videos, like actually official videos, to kind of explain things. So yeah, I don't think you'd have to play through those games. Never tell a Kingdom Hearts fan that though, because then they'll just be like, oh.
Well, at this point, they have to make it accessible. Because
of course they do.
If they're just going to get that core audience that just never left to them,
they'll lose
it's
so much
just
money.
not going to be I don't think it's going to be that good of a selling game. They have to make it accessible to people that have never played, especially younger children that probably didn't grow up with it. They have to make it accessible, or I think it won't do as well as they want.
Well, that's actually one idea. Like all these other games had to do with, oftentimes it was another game that happened in the past or at the same time, but just a different character. And so it's not like the story has moved forward. You just learn a lot more, and which is hard because it's like, I want to know that stuff. Do I want to play a game? Because I'm already in the timeline. I'm already further ahead. Like, how much do I care about what's happened in the past? Because it happened.
Right.
So I don't know. It's obviously very mixed about Kingdom Hearts. I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3.
Maybe that rumored Steam release will happen and you could actually play it.
Is that rumored?
It's rumored. Well, it is confirmed that it's coming to Xbox One.
Right.
It's rumored it's coming out on Steam.
Which is so funny.
Imagine if it came to the Switch, though.
They probably could.
It could.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
we'll see.
So that's my one prediction, is that it'll be released at the end of this year.
I have a question about Sony. Do you guys think they're going to announce PlayStation 5?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, I do.
I agree with you.
It won't be until probably 2020 or 2019 that it's actually released. I bet 2020. Maybe 2021. But I think they'll say something about it.
I think, and maybe they won't even it won't be an official announcement, but they'll say, yes, the PlayStation 5.
And maybe the base specs they're hoping to hit.
Here's a question.
It's the new world's most powerful console.
Yeah. Right. Here's a question. Will they call it PlayStation 5 or will they
they've
never done it.
They've never deviated. It's going to be called PlayStation 5.
Okay.
But the reason I think they are going to at least announce it, even if it's just kind of smaller, is that Sony recently came out and said that the PlayStation 4 is at the end of its life cycle. And that's official. They officially said that. Because if you look at it this way, so the PlayStation 4 came out in 2013, and then in 2016 the PlayStation 4 Pro came out. 2019 PlayStation 5.
Though the console generation that did ruin that was the 360 and PS3,
which made it they were like 8
years
long.
or 10 years, super long, which is not the norm.
Yeah, the norm has been 5 years. So, oh my gosh. But
car alarm.
Yeah, sorry about that car alarm.
There's no way the mic can hear that. No way. I doubt it.
$5.
$5?
$5.
I doubt you can hear it.
I'm taking myself out of this.
I have to ask my wife first though before I can.
$5. $5.
Shake hands.
$5.
$5.
Okay.
Not
anyways.
dollars.
Now whoever edits this is either gonna lower the volume there or higher it to.
No, we're just gonna watch the Rock clip after.
Okay.
But yeah. So I do think.
1 hour and 17 minutes.
So yes, I do think they are going to now. I don't think they're going to make a big deal about it, like the official. This is the PlayStation 5. No, shut up. But
Cheater.
I do think they will say something about.
I think
5.
they will too.
So
not to go back to this, but I wonder how that would affect Kingdom Hearts 3 because it's been so long waited.
It won't affect it. Because
it'll be released
Days Gone is slated to release. By the way, Days Gone got a release date, February 2019 or something.
Ooh.
So they're still going to support the PlayStation 4. Even if the PlayStation 5 comes out in 2019, there's still going to be games coming out on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean it's like GTA 5 that came out for the
360 and the PlayStation 3,
and then they also did a re-release on. Then they did PC afterward, and then they also did Xbox One. And PlayStation 4. So it's going to be in those in-between cycles where they continue to release games until they eventually wean themselves off of that, and then it just becomes about the new console.
Right, yeah. But that's all I got for Sony, pretty much. I think they will announce the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty cut and dry conference of them just being like, hey, look, we have games.
Yep.
bias because we have games.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that's the whole point.
Which isn't bad.
That's the whole point.
I just
Yeah,
don't think
yeah.
they've really pushed any envelopes recently.
Yeah.
So
not
I
really.
think all Xbox really needs to do is get those games out there because they
Mhm.
already have such a backbone for so many other things that if they get games, they'll win it.
Yeah.
But they have to have games,
yeah.
or else they won't because people want games.
Mhm.
Microsoft, give us games.
Games. We want games. And please put them on PC too.
Or don't.
Please
Actually,
do.
Give me some
Do.
Xbox exclusives. Just Xbox.
They won't though. I mean,
Halo's been that way since every Halo.
except
besides
Halo
one.
6 is going to be on PC.
We'll see.
It
No, it's
will.
not. I hope, or it'll be like a year afterward.
Just from market share wise, they would
Well,
want
they've
to.
gone so far into the whole Windows
They
10
have.
and Xbox. It's coming
You're
to PC. Like, but yeah, I have no other really things to say. I mean,
So-
I have plenty more things to say about E3, but
The big things that I have, because I didn't have a lot of rumors or anything like that, the big things
Okay.
I have are games I'm excited for.
yeah.
So one of the games I'm excited for is Beyond Good and Evil 2. Didn't
No
know
idea what that game
anything
is.
about the first one,
Literally
okay.
no idea what that
but I
game
saw
is.
a trailer. It's an action adventure game. It's a Ubisoft game.
Oh, it's Ubisoft.
It's an action
okay.
adventure game with like animals and stuff. I don't really know a lot about it.
Yeah.
It looks like it has like kind of like a quirky humor. The graphics are incredibly beautiful, and that's what the first thing drew me to is like this really gross, ugly pig man is bad, and he just looks like so sheeny and shiny and good. It just looks really fun. Like it looks like it'd be a funny game that would be just entertainment for entertainment purposes.
Is that an exclusive game to PlayStation, or is that an every? I don't think it's an exclusive.
I don't think it's an.
I think it's just an
exclusive.
everybody.
If
game.
it is, I mean.
No, I
PlayStation.
think. Am I thinking of Evil Within? No, Evil Within is not an exclusive either. So I don't know.
Yeah,
what I'm
like
thinking.
that's like one of the characters.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking.
Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it looks like incredibly good. It looks really fun. Yeah, that's the gross pig man I was talking about.
Yeah. Beyond Good and
Like
Evil
just
2.
like a grimy, gross, ugly, but like
Mm-hmm.
looks good. And it looks cool. And I didn't know anything about it, but I saw the gameplay and it was enough to interest me that I was like, that could be a cool game.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Ooh, yes.
I loved
Why haven't we talked
1
about that?
and 2. My gosh, I love those games. They're so good. Like I had never played a Tomb Raider game, and then I want to say I got the first one came out as like the beautiful edition for Xbox One. I don't know that it was an exclusive. I think it was.
It was a
for
timed.
while.
It was a timed exclusive, but it didn't really pan out for them. It just.
And it is so good. It looks so pretty. The gameplay is so fun. Number 2 just added to it, and it was such a fun game. This is
good.
the last one in the trilogy. That's why it's a trilogy.
Mhm.
And I'm excited. Like I love the first 2, and I'm really excited for this one to be good.
I'm excited.
Who cares
too.
about Uncharted? Tomb Raider, all the way.
Yeah. Okay, Uncharted is a great franchise, but yes, I am excited for Tomb Raider.
Screw Uncharted.
No.
Tomb Raider all the way.
I mean, why don't you want both? You can have
Well,
both.
he doesn't have a PlayStation.
I don't want both.
Oh.
Well, Uncharted's a PlayStation exclusive. So,
It is, and good for them.
Yeah.
But I think Tomb Raider's better personally.
Tomb Raider is going to be good though.
Tomb Raider, yeah. I mean, I'd have to agree with that too.
Plus, that game's going to be on PC, so I'm excited.
And you have a hot chick you can play as. Why would you want to play as Nathan Drake, a hot dude, if you can play as a hot chick?
Well, I
because
can
maybe
play.
I go both ways.
That's fine.
Just kidding.
Well, I think Nathan Drake is cool, and plus, there's Elena who's hot, and then there's Chloe who's hot.
I know, but yeah.
And there's
No,
Tanner,
it's not.
that's
It's
hot.
by all means, it's not a bad game.
Yeah.
Uncharted, it's a great game.
They're
To me, like Tomb Raider's better. Like the puzzles are cooler.
Well, yeah.
To me, it's more fun.
Uncharted
They're very
is more.
similar.
Uncharted's more cinematic, I think. Like,
Well, I maybe back
what I
in
mean
the
is that
day,
Tomb Raider has more depth to the gameplay than Uncharted. Uncharted is basically just hide behind, shoot, collect stuff.
You're right.
Tomb Raider, like there's skill.
You got
crafting.
you got to jump and
and
climb.
crafting and jumping. Yeah, there's more depth to Tomb Raider.
Did you guys play the first Tomb
I just
Raider
like
on
Uncharted.
like PlayStation?
no. The only ones I played are these new ones.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've only played
Okay.
the newer Tomb
Because
Raiders.
that first one was really good too, and that's kind of it helped
Yeah.
propel the whole. Tomb
There's been a
Raider
lot of Tomb
franchise.
Raider games though.
Yeah, I never
So,
played.
I can't keep. They're all on Steam, but I can't keep track of them.
Yeah, and I don't care to, honestly. I
Yeah.
have the ones that I like now. I have no reason.
These
to
are
play
the
all
Tomb Raider
ones.
games that I grew up with playing. So,
So I'm super excited for that game.
mhm.
Yeah, that'll be one that I buy. Good single player, fun.
And you can play it on the
Good.
X. So
Give
that'll
me-
be cool.
Yeah, it'll look pretty. Another game I'm excited for is Smash Bros. We already talked about that
Yep.
though. So, like I said, I've never owned one before, so to me this is kind of new. I've played the other ones, but it'll be cool to own one.
Yeah.
And then I'm excited. I think it'll be exciting to see everything Bethesda does. Just because I enjoy Bethesda games. I'm really hoping for an Elder Scroll games, even though I know they're not going to give it to me.
They're not.
Skyrim just keeps selling too well, so they don't need to do anything new. But Fallout 76, I'm hoping it's cool, and I'm hoping it's something that's good enough that we can all get it and play together.
Me too.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what Starfield is. I don't think there's a lot of information out there right now. I know it's going to be a sci-fi shooter from Bethesda. So I'm excited about that because I like Bethesda, and I think a cool like sci-fi shooter could be like a really cool game. But also, Bethesda. I bet you that with Fallout 76, it's going to be a game that releases within the next little bit because that's what they did with the Fallout 4 was they had Fallout Shelter immediately, like the mobile game, and then like a couple months later, if even not even less time, they had Fallout 4 come out, like announce come out. Other people, you should start doing that. Announce and then come out within a little bit instead of announcing.
Don't pull
30
Kingdom.
years.
Don't pull Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts 3
or Crackdown 3
or Crackdown 3.
Don't pull a Days Gone or
Days Gone.
don't play those games because that the same.
Announce a game that's coming out this year.
Give us the hype.
Yeah.
And then release it while the hype's still strong and people still want to hear about it.
Yeah.
So I like Bethesda. Yeah, they're janky games, but they're fun with their jankiness. So yeah, I'm excited for that. But that's really right now from what I'm seeing is those are really the only games I'm really looking forward to at the moment. Crackdown 3, I like the first one a lot, so I'm hoping the next one's good. But it has been a lot of hype for a long time, and so give me something good coming out soonish and make it good. That's all I hope for there. But other than that, like I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't really be as hyped as I would like for those other games, like Spider-Man and all those. I think they look great. Would like to play them, but I already don't play games enough.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to. If this takes off and we become big, then I'll get a PlayStation. Then we can play all the games. But until then, I just don't have the time, and I'm just not going to put in the money. So
yeah, that's another thing I was just gonna mention. Like, E3 is kind of overwhelming to me as a gamer because like there are gonna be so many games.
It's like great. I'm gonna play one of those games that they announced.
But like, I'm just thinking about my wallet, man. Like, or my bank account. Like,
yeah, especially with those $5 you're gonna have to give me.
Yeah, I know.
well,
Like,
I was like, what?
there's so many good games coming out for all platforms. Like, just talking about this podcast or talking on this podcast today, like. I want to get Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Smash. I want to get Assassin's Creed on the Switch. Honestly, if it comes for the Switch,
Star Fox Grand Prix.
No, probably not.
Woo! That's
Game
game of the year.
I might want that
Calling it
Spider-Man
right now. Game of the year.
Star Fox Grand Prix. If for some reason that like just surges and like takes over Game of the Year,
It won't.
It won't, but that'd be hilarious.
Especially if it's releasing like on a console that has a Mario Kart, and it's also going to be releasing against another racing game called Forza. It has a lot of
and then
depth
Sonic
into it.
Racing is coming to all platforms.
What if it's just the new Mario Kart?
And
It's just
I
that
would say
good.
right now, Forza are kind of the undisputed champions of racing games.
Besides Mario Kart.
But that's not even the same kind of game.
No, they're not.
They're a very different kind of game.
Yeah.
So I would say like of the genre though, like an open world kind of game, like I think Forza kind of has the win there.
Well, there are Forza games that aren't open world.
Yeah, motorsports.
Yeah, those are the ones that.
But either way,
those are the ones that I've played. So.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say, yeah, Star Fox is going to be a failure.
Yeah.
Calling it now. Not game of the year.
The point is that there's so many games coming out and I cannot afford.
It is
all
a
of
little
them,
bit frustrating.
So
I just don't have the time.
and the time too. So, but I'm excited for E3. I'm excited to hopefully get work off on Tuesday and watch the Nintendo conference. I will watch the other conferences, but probably after they happen. But yeah, E3 is an exciting time for gamers, and it's going to be a good one, boys. I feel like this is going to be one of the bigger E3s.
I'm excited to see how Microsoft will fail me and PlayStation will make me jealous.
Let's hope not. I don't want that to happen. I want Microsoft to come back. I really do.
Yeah,
So,
and if they were on equal footing, that would just make it so that there'd be even more pushing.
Yeah.
So I think it would only do good for everyone, honestly, for like both people to be doing good and really have to try to really set their sights on improving. So hopefully we'll see that. Maybe it'll push Kingdom Hearts out at some point.
hopefully. Honestly, though, Microsoft, listen to me here. Just hear me out on this.
Because we know you watch our podcast.
Because we know. and Sony and Nintendo.
I can
all
send this
take-
to my prospective clients when Activision.
There you
and
go.
Blizzard.
Send it to them.
Yeah.
But really, Microsoft, what we really, really want is Quantum Break 2.
Dude, I loved Quantum Break. That is a freaking good game.
I never.
I was
played it.
saying that because the game
I know
flopped
you were saying
really
that
hard.
sarcastically, but
Yeah.
that I really enjoyed that game. Like, it
Oh,
was really
Halo
cool.
Wars 3. Forget Halo 6.
Or the arcade one.
Yeah.
That's not already doing
Oh
this.
yeah.
I just pissed off a lot of Microsoft fans. But yeah, any final thoughts on our E3 predictions and E3 hype train?
I'm looking forward to see what I
Yeah.
missed and coming back to a good list of games.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to see what
in
games
5
I won't
years.
be able to afford. So
You know, this may just sound really weird, but one thing that is really good amongst the Kingdom Hearts fan base is that they are really good at memeing, and so I'm looking forward to everything that they have to say and create regarding the Kingdom Hearts 3 announcement because
That's
it
all you guys get
because
right
it is a
now.
meme, and
It is a meme,
It is
yeah.
a meme, of
And that's the
itself.
only content you're getting.
it's
So
memes.
Oh well, they're like,
enjoy them.
okay, I will.
Kingdom Hearts 3 meme edition.
When they have
I
like, the
would
walls
buy
are like
that.
plastered with all the memes.
All the memes.
I
Like in every
would
starting
buy
world or
that.
whatever.
Pre-order bonus, you get all the memes, the meme wall.
That would
Oh,
be
gosh.
fun.
Yeah.
There's hundreds. There's just hundreds.
I'd say that's.
But yeah, I'd say that's
pretty
a good,
round
been a
number.
good podcast, boys. I could talk about E3 for too long, but we have to end it at some point. But remember to subscribe and like, and Nintendo's going to win E3.
Also, watch all of our Let's Play videos. We have a lot coming out, and we had a lot came out just this past week. So all of them.
We'll see
Watch
you
all
next
of them.
week on the All Chat Gaming Podcast.
Bye.